Thank you, Javon. We start tonight's regional news in Trinidad by telling you that the National Helicopter Services Limited, the NHSL, is now investigating what caused the multi-million-dollar helicopter that was part of a joint law enforcement search for 8 prisoners to crash shortly after 1 yesterday. NHSL has confirmed the incident at Windy Hill, Aruca, in which all 3 occupants of the aircraft luckily escaped. The NHSL has confirmed the incident at Windy Hill, Aruca, in which all 3 occupants of the aircraft luckily escaped unhurt. The accident is also engaging the attention of the Trinidad and Tobago Civil Aviation Authority. Thankfully, the pilot, prison officer, and police officer on board were all shaken, but in one piece. The rotor blades of the mangled wreckage were bent and limp, and several pieces of the blades were thrown around the crash site, which was heavily guarded by soldiers of the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment and police officers. The manhunt for the 8 prisoners, all considered armed and dangerous, had begun shortly after 7 yesterday, after the men were discovered missing from their cell in the upper south wing of the institution. The names of the escaped men were Olatungu Denbo, Brent Johnson, Mikhail Mohammed, Joshua Janet, Kerry Valentino, Stephen Austin, and Michael Findlay, all on remand for murder, and Atiba Basili, who was incarcerated on an aggravated robbery charge. And in an update from that same story, we tell you that 5 of the 8 men who made a daring dash for freedom from the Golden Grove remand yard in Aruca have been recaptured by a joint team of Army police and prison officers shortly before 7 p.m. yesterday. The men, according to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, were all held in the Las Lomas area following information the authorities had received. Captured men were identified as Brent Johnson, Mikhail Mohammed, Kerry Valentino, Joshua Janet, and Stephen Austin, all accused of murder. The men had squeezed through a 12-inch hole after removing a brick from cell 6, which is located at the upper south wing of Remand Yard, and allegedly used a hacksaw to cut through 2 of several steel bars used to secure the ventilation opening. It is believed they did this sometime between Tuesday night and early yesterday morning. Prison Commissioner Gerard Wilson confirmed how the men were able to make their escape and said a full investigation had already been initiated to not only find out how they escaped, but how they came into possession of the hacksaw. The search for the men involved a joint team of heavily armed police, prison officers, and soldiers who spent most of the day combing several areas of Bonaire and Aruca in search of the men. 3 men who remain at large are murder accused: Olatungu Dembao and Michael Findlay, along with Atiba Basili, who was incarcerated on charges of aggravated robbery. Following his escape, Dembao posted a message on social media claiming that he was set up by state witnesses in 2 murder cases and would only surrender if Police Commissioner Gary Griffith and the Director of Public Prosecutions investigated his claims. Up to press time, law enforcement officials were still in the Las Lomas area searching for the 3 escapees who were considered armed and dangerous. We turn now to Jamaica to tell you that the Jamaican Urban Transit Company, JTUC, and the police have launched an investigation into Tuesday night's fire which destroyed a bus on Hope Road that was coming from downtown Kingston via Mountain View Avenue. According to the JUTC, about 7:35 p.m., the driver let off passengers at a bus stop adjacent to the Clock Tower Plaza on Hope Road when he was alerted by other passengers that there was a fire inside the back of the bus. The driver reportedly ushered the remaining passengers off the unit with the intention of using an extinguisher to put out the fire. However, the bus became quickly engulfed in flames. Managing Director of the JUTC, Paul Abraham, said a preliminary report from the police and the company's investigators revealed that the engine compartment was not damaged or burnt. And finally, in regional news tonight, Christopher Townsend, attorney at law representing Munga Honorable, says he is in preparation mode for his client's June 6 appearance in the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. Dancehall DJ Munga Honorable, whose given name is Damian Roden, is charged in connection with the February 2017 murder of Cleveland Smith. According to police reports, it is alleged that Smith was accosted by a group of men, one of whom was reportedly armed with a gun at a dance hall in Akiwalk community of St. Andrew. An altercation ensued between them, during which Smith was shot. He was then rushed to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The entertainer was granted bail in June 2017 in the sum of $500,000. The attorney at law said his client is in good spirits and is anticipating to be vindicated. Mungu Honorable, whose career spans nearly 2 decades, got his break in 2005 when he teamed up with producer Don Carlion. Among his songs are Nabad, In My Arms, Flippin' Rhymes, and Bat From Me Born. And that's it for tonight's regional news. Thanks for watching. Back to you, Siobhan.